Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, you're going to be listening to a hypnosis session to help a client give up smoking. They started smoking again after being in a toxic relationship with what they considered a narcissistic individual with many different issues, controlling, gaslighting, lots of the attributes that are normally associated with a narcissist. But what was important about this is that she had successfully created new boundaries, made decisions to end that relationship and protect it from happening again, which was important because there was a feeling initially of a huge amount of desire and attraction for that relationship, but it never delivered on its promise. So what you're going to hear in this particular hypnosis session is a comparison, a metaphor of the relationship with smoking to be very similar to the relationship with a narcissistic, toxic ex-partner that promises so much but doesn't deliver, offers to give so much but ends up taking away. And what was empowering for this particular client is that because she had already successfully ended that toxic relationship with a person, her ex-partner, that would immediately give her evidence that she could do the same thing with smoking, because smoking is one of those things that, again, there's a form of internal gaslighting. A lot of smokers feel like they need it when they don't, so that's a delusion. That's a form of gaslighting. There's a feeling that it helps when actually it hinders. So you've got lots of similarities, and there's lots of suggestions here that was particularly poignant with this particular client because of the emotional impact the narcissistic ex-partner had on her, and therefore she could then start looking at smoking as something very sinister and similar. If you have a desire to quit smoking or any other addiction and you feel like hypnosis can help, there is a link in the show notes that you can schedule a free 30-minute consultation call to explore working with me. But you might find that even if you haven't had a narcissistic partner, that the idea that a relationship with cigarettes is fundamentally a toxic relationship could be empowering enough for you to change your own approach with smoking. So find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in a resourceful feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, just allow any feelings of worry, stress, or tension to leave your body in your outward breath. That's it. Breathe again that resourceful feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, allow your eyelids to close. And as they close, feel a release of tension in your eyelids, allowing them to feel heavier and relaxed. Any tension around your eyebrows, forehead, feel like that tension is being released. And as it's released, you feel a wave of relaxation from the top of your head all the way down your face into your jaw. I want you to imagine almost your jaw being old mechanical machinery. But as you breathe in that feeling of resourcefulness, just feel like that machinery is being oiled, maintained, and to feel a release of tension around your jaw, enabling you to relax. Relax your neck and your shoulders. And I want you to get a sense that tension is leaving your body, that worries are leaving your body, that as you breathe in and breathe out, feeling a sense of relaxation and sleepiness, eyelids getting heavier and heavier and heavier, that's it, taking you onto a journey into deep relaxation. I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine a horse on the top of a hill, and the hill winds down towards a forest or a quarry. But I want you to imagine you're at the top of the hill and there is a beautiful horse, maybe a horse that you can remember. Imagine the feeling of the skin of the horse on your hand, maybe brushing it with your hand, feeling the warmth of the horse's body, hearing it breathe, and just getting a sense of oneness, of connection, you and the horse. Feeling tension leave your neck and your shoulders, finding it easier to breathe, not from the chest, but deeper down from the diaphragm. That's it. Feeling like you're drifting into your imagination, and imagine climbing up on this horse. But I want you to get a sense that the horse is calm and relaxed. Horses can be restless, but this one is happy you're riding the horse. And I want you to feel that wonderful feeling as you're going down the hill, through the trees into the quarry. And this descent from the top of the hill downwards represents a descent deeper into your subconscious mind. The further down the hill you go, the deeper down into your subconscious you go. And the quarry is deeper than ground level. So I want you to imagine traveling down the hill, through the trees, into the quarry, going deeper and deeper down into your subconscious mind. A place where change can take place, where beliefs can be updated, that habits can be broken, and that you can think about things in new ways to help you make powerful, profound, new choices. So as you breathe in and breathe out, feel how wonderful it feels to go deeper and deeper relaxed, feeling more confident, more self-assured, but feeling this wonderful descent down into your subconscious mind. Feel how relaxed you feel on that horse, arms, just feeling limp, loose and relaxed. Breathing deep in the diaphragm. And I want you to imagine yawning, just yawning in your own imagination. Just because even the thought of a yawn enables you to release the same hormones to make you tired and sleepy and relaxed. That's it, deeper and deeper, going through the forest, just imagining the smell of the leaves. There's a freshness around trees, but also the coolness of the shade, and then going through that down into the quarry. And I want you to get a sense that a quarry is a place where something valuable is taken away, and what's left is just empty. And that can happen in a relationship. Someone could see something of value and want to take that. But that can also happen in health. Energy, vitality, youth can be taken by a substance, taken by a habit. And the problem is these things feel like they're choices, when actually these choices are just attachments, things that are draining and taking. The quarry didn't want that valuable resources to be taken away, but it was. And I want you to imagine you're now at the bottom of a quarry, there on a horse, and I want you to imagine there is a pool of water and the horse is just drinking that water. You are calm and relaxed there at the bottom of the quarry, and I want your unconscious mind to be open to new suggestions about how to think about a habit of smoking. Some people have this belief that it's harmless. Some people think every now and then, no big deal, just one or two. But one or two that feel like a choice quickly become a feeling of necessity, dependency. You can't live without them. There are people that get angry on flights because they can't smoke for a few hours. People that get angry if their cigarettes go missing because they become attached to the thing that's taking the most valuable of all resources, life. So there at the bottom of that quarry, I want you to think of cigarettes as something new, perhaps differently to how you've thought about them ever before. And sitting there on the top of that horse as you deeply relax, I want you to imagine a toxic relationship with smoking. And that relationship controls and manipulates you. I want you to use the power of your imagination to visualize smoking as a narcissistic partner, seeking to undermine your health and well-being. And maybe it's helpful to recognize that smoking is like gaslighting, distorting the truth and making you doubt your own resolve. And what if you saw smoking as a toxic habit that drains your vitality and holds you back from true freedom? I want you to notice how smoking diminishes your self-worth, chips away at your confidence, just like a narcissistic partner would. And maybe you could realize that smoking is a facade. It promises so much, promising pleasure, joy, but ultimately causing harm and disappointment, never living up to its promises. Embrace the power within you to break free from the grip of smoking, reclaiming your independence. Feel a growing sense of strength and determination to release yourself from the toxic bond with smoking. And what if you were able to replace the desire for cigarettes with a deep longing for health, vitality, and inner peace? You have a powerful imagination, and I want you to imagine a future where you no longer need the crutch of smoking, that you can feel powerful and strong in your own empowerment. You already know this to be true, but allow your mind to associate smoking with the negative consequences it brings, seeing it for what it really is, and detaching from its allure. When teenagers think of smoking, it's cool, it's rebellious, it's an act of defiance. But I want you to shift your perspective to see smoking as a weakness, robbing you of control and self-mastery. I want you to think to that time in your life where you became free of a narcissistic ex-partner. And I want you to feel a surge of self-love and respect as you commit to the idea of freeing yourself from the toxic influence of smoking. Affirm that you deserve a life free from the destructive cycle of smoking, embracing vibrant well-being. I want you to imagine the joy of breathing clean, fresh air and the exhilaration of being truly smoke-free. And as you walk around the bottom of the quarry, I want you to see where rainwater has mixed with sand or silt or mud, and there's a sludge. And from this point onwards, I want you to imagine that smoking creates a thick sludge of tar in your lungs, that seeing the hooves of the horse go through that thick, slimy mud. Imagine trying to breathe if that thick, slimy mud was there in your lungs, clogging it all up. Smoking promises a lot, but that's the reality. Thick, gooey tar clogging up your lungs. A toxic partner is no different from a toxic substance. People can be cancerous. Cigarettes are cancerous. I want you to embrace the truth that your body is valuable, a temple worthy of love and care, free from the harm of smoking. Sometimes you have to be free from something to realize what it was all along. Sometimes you don't realize that a person is the way they are until you're away from them long enough to see how they were all along. And I want you to imagine that you're getting that clarity and mental focus as you start to imagine weeks and months and maybe even years away from smoking, and you can see that it was a narcissistic, toxic, parasitic addiction taking from you and giving nothing. Celebrate your commitment to a healthier future, knowing that quitting smoking is an act of self-empowerment, a gift to you, an act of self-love. Each day, reinforce your decision to quit smoking or be that non-smoker, strengthening your resolve and deepening your commitment to your own well-being. And it feels good to feel free. It feels good to feel free from a person. It feels good to feel free from an addiction. You don't want it, you don't need it, you never did. It was just gaslighting you into thinking that you needed it. Trying to trick you into be dependent, but you're not. You don't need it, you don't want it, and it can be in your past. And if your unconscious mind now sees smoking for what it really is, and you have a desire to break away from that, let me know by nodding your head. I want you to imagine that you jump off the horse, and whichever part of you was a smoker, leave that in the bottom of the quarry. The version of you that gets back on that horse is a non-smoker, and you will leave that past behind. The non-smoker is the part that climbs back on that horse, walks through that muddy quarry, leaves that sticky, thick mud behind, and gets out of the quarry, feeling a sense of freedom as you leave the quarry, leaving that past behind you, and noticing that you can breathe more easily. You feel freer. You're already thinking of disposing of any clues and symbols of your life as a smoker before. Dealing with a narcissistic ex-partner requires boundaries, and I want you to decide now what boundaries you'll put in place to commit to being this non-smoker. A narcissistic ex-partner is tenacious, always trying to find a way to get you to get back with them. But so is the habit of smoking, trying to convince you if you're stressed, you need it. If you're anxious, you need it. If you're social, you need it. But forewarned is forearmed. You're wiser now. You know that this is just the manipulative voice of the addiction trying to get back in your life. And if you feel that you have the boundaries in place to truly leave smoking behind, let me know by nodding your head. And then you're out of the quarry, on horseback, going through the woods, feeling the shade, the fresh air of the forest, until you leave the forest into the sunshine, climbing all the way back up that hill, feeling on top of the world, feeling like you are a new person with a new start, free of the past, ready to start a fantastic new chapter in your life. Very soon I will count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. You will awaken feeling resourceful, optimistic, and aligned with being a non-smoker. Smoking is just something you did, but that's not you anymore. You have no desire for it. It is no longer you. Starting to count to awaken you. Feeling back in the present. Take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your nose, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. That's it. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.